I just want to take a moment and show you how I put vinyl on my travel album. And I used a Cricut and cut out my image and some letters, and then I put a transfer sheet over it. Now, after you put the transfer sheet over it, you take your original backing off and keep it on the sticky part. So I just sort of roll the back off. I don't know if it shows up on the dark there. I can keep this because the transfer sheet is able to be used again. I then pick my position, and I'm just going to add the date of this album here. Now, let's see. It's good to take some kind of spatula or whatever and just burnish it a little bit so the numbers adhere to the album. And then you take the top sticky part and roll it off. Now it sounds really easy, but I made a couple little puckers on my mariner's compass there. But I think I put a temporary vinyl because I was just sort of trying it out. And I don't think the puckers matter, so I'm going to leave them on. Now I just take, let's see, I save this. I can use it again. Now I'm going to show you, you can also do the spines. So I have 3 pieces. Let's see if I can open this up. I'm just going to try to get it on the side so you can see it. It's a 3D album, so it probably would have been better to do it empty. So I have made 3 pieces. I have Bermuda, the word celebration, and then the date. So I have the date on the front. Oh, that doesn't get in focus at all, but we'll just look here. So I'm going to put my date last because I want to make sure Bermuda celebration is on here. Just like before, I cut it out, weeded it, and then I put a transfer sheet on it. I take the original backing off, save it, and I'm going to put this one sideways. And I'm just sort of centering it on the back of my album. Now I'm not even going to burnish it yet. I want to see how celebration fits first. So I'm just rolling off the backing, leaving a little spot for separation. There we go. And last but not least, the date. Now this album was our special retreat album, and it's actually empty. I'm going to save it for our 50th anniversary trip with our family, and we're going to Bermuda. So I thought the travel theme would go well. So I'm just going to put another date on the spine, so when it's on the shelf, it'll be really easy. Trying to get it lined up straight. I'm doing it a little far away there. There we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to burnish this down, make sure those letters are adhered to the album, and I roll off, whoop, let's try it this way, roll off the sticky part. And if anything comes up, just burnish it down with your finger. There's Bermuda. I can save that and reuse it. I'm going to do the 23 here just to get this out of the way. I'm having trouble with the 2 sticking. You want it to make sure it's adhered well. Now, you can use permanent vinyl, but this stays on for a long time, and I would rather have it temporary in case it does get torn by usage. I can replace it and take it off easily. So, again, saving the paper if you want to use it again. And now it says Bermuda Celebration. Boy, it's really got bright light in here, so it's not showing well. All right, I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to show you a little bit about magnets now. Now, we talked about magnets on another page. Let's see if I can find that one. I did a little video when I was making this album. Here we go. And I made a booklet that has magnets within it. And this booklet can then just snap in place and stay in between the albums. And they're all covered with a transfer type sheet. Well, we have one other little teeny booklet in this album, and it doesn't have pictures in it yet. But I kept it out of kept the page out of plastic so I could show you how I attach it. Now, this has 3 magnets here, and I just realized in order to show you how to attach it, I need a plastic cover. Just a second. So I'm using the side load from Close to My Heart, and this will be in that page. But I just wanted to show you how I did this because I think you know I do not like my things that are outside the page to have fingerprints on them. So I'm going to leave these magnets here because I've already lined them up with the outside magnet. So it'll attach right there. But even without putting this in, this page isn't done, it's not decorated at all. I'll put a double there and you'll still hear it snap. So I'm just going to show you 2 more things on how to make these little teeny albums be covered with transparency paper and show you how this book still has a sort of an area here that could flap open. Even though it's tied, it could flap open and get damaged. So I'm going to untie this. And this is the page that could get damaged. So I would like to put, let's see, I'm going to use these kind of, I only need a little teeny magnet. So I'm going to use some of my Amazon magnets. They're not, okay, I'm going to remove my bottom page so I don't get the unfinished page dirty. I'm just going to work with this for a moment. So I want a magnet to hold these 2 pages together. And I've already put a decoration here, and I probably should not have adhered it down because I'm going to put this under it. But this is not a basic gray, it's just the ones from Amazon that you can order and get quite a few. Quite a few for your money. These larger ones I think are $50 for $10. Okay, so I put a little adhesive here. And I'm going to hide it under that little journal jot. Now I am going to put a little bit of score tape right on top of it and adhere it down in addition to the tacky glue. taken my cover off, which is a little big, so I'll roll the adhesive under the journal jot there. Okay, so now I have a magnet right there. I have to find another magnet, but I want it to find its home. I'm going to put a upside down piece of score tape, then take a magnet, let it find its home. It's quite high there. Didn't aim my magnet very well, did I? Okay. Now when I close this, even though it's on this, I realize I probably should have put one there. Maybe we'll put two, we see. But I'm going to add this magnet to this page. This is just going to have a photo on it. So when I close this, burnish it down a little. Now when I add a photo to this, it'll have the score tape on top of it. I think I'll put one more piece of score tape because it's not completely centered there. You won't see this little magnet, but when you put the magnet together in the album, nope, we still need one more. We need it to stay together. Okay, trial and error. Let's do another one. Let's put one under the side of this map. So I'll add a little dot of glue. Put it under the map. Add a little bit of score tape. Just to secure it down while it's drying. And that'll stick to, since I've manipulated this little map, it'll make sure that still stays well adhered. Taking the cover off. Okay, can't see it. Take another piece of score tape. Put it on top. Let a magnet, these are hard to come apart sometimes. Let a magnet find its home here. Boy, it's really sticky. It's sticking to my finger. I think I'm going to give up here. Okay. I'll have to hold it when I put this on. So I'm just going to hold the magnet over, let it find its home, and then I'll close my book again. Actually, I'm going to put just a dab of glue on this side too. So when I close the book, the magnet should be in the right place. And this is all ready for something to go on top of it. Okay, now, yes, that works better. Now the book is together, and when it's on the outside of your album page, it will not make a mess or get torn. Okay, let me just put my adhesive away, my magnets away, and I'll show you a little bit more about the transparency film. Okay. So you can get a stack of magnets on Amazon. They come smaller than this, but I like this size. You can get 100 smaller, and they're still pretty thin, and they're great for little projects like this. Now, in the back of this, you might notice there's transparency film. I have not adhered it down. I have used this very, very skinny score tape and put a piece here. Once I have these decorated, I'll just remove that score tape and put this down, and it will be adhered. But on this side, I actually cut, let's see if I have the sample. Nope, I don't. I actually cut this one right here because this is a pocket, and you can put something in the pocket, and you could put transparency film on there if you want. So this one is anchored in two places. So I cut the paper as wide, the transparency paper, as wide as the book, I keep the plastic on when I cut. It's just easier to see, not the plastic, the tissue paper. And I have to open it wide here. This will go on like this after I decorate the page, and it will be adhered there. Still have openings if you want it to get in, but it will stay very, very nicely covered. So this is actually what I want to put in my pocket. I made a journal jot, and so that's what I want to be in my pocket on the back page. But I'll probably even put, see, there's some of this score tape here. I'm actually going to cover this with plastic all the way. So you might not be as obsessed as I am about wanting things covered in plastic, but just a little bit of time of cutting down some plastic sheets, folding them in the middle, and everything stays very nice. Now in the front one, I've not added, I have adhesive here, and this will probably be journaling. I have adhesive on this side, but I will wait until the photo is in this photo mat before I adhere it to that side. But really is so simple. I didn't put the suitcase, there's another little decoration here. It has two suitcases. I didn't put it on because I wanted to show you, let's see. Sometimes it sticks to my finger. I probably will put this little skinny piece here. And I'll see how that adheres the transparency film once the picture's in. But at this point, I want to get that picture in, so I left it wide open. So I'm going to put my transparencies aside for now. I don't want them to get wrinkled or scratched up. But this book will be on the outside of this page. And because it'll be on the outside, I wanted to be covered in plastic so there won't be fingerprints all over it. So those are my two little tips today: how to add vinyl and how to add pages or albums, mini albums, to the outside of your photo pages and have them protected with transparency. So, thank you. Have a great day.